death marks a mysterious transition, and many spirits still yearn for this world. The Haunted Network brings you along on our journey where restless energies are imprinted. Subtle reminders that we are all connected by histories that seem to repeat. The main reason why we ventured out to the Kentucky backwoods of Carlisle was to investigate the final battleground of the Revolutionary War, that of the Battle of Blue Licks. I was shocked to find out while researching this battle that the victorious side of the bloody 15-minute ambush was that of my great ×6 grandfather's brother, who served as a private, although no muster rolls for his side have been preserved for this specific battle, so it's uncertain whether he was here or with the rest of his company further east that day. Frederick Vanderlip fought for the Butler's Rangers, so I'm sure that might stir up some of the spirits. Hopefully I don't make them too angry having that Tory blood in me. So the Haunted Network has only just gotten here and I'm blown away. Of course, like any good paranormal investigator, we gotta find the gift shop. We head into this Pioneer Museum behind me. Very friendly staff. We did not get access to videotape in there, but we got amazing leads on 2 of the prominent spirits that had been witnessed in this general vicinity, and we're going to get to the bottom of that. We have their names. First off, there is the person who founded this park, basically. His name is William Curtis. His apparition has been spotted not only inside of the building, walking down the steps, and around the park itself. There's been paintings moving, motion sensors going off. The painting, it was during the cholera outbreak because of the springs nearby have been known to have healing qualities back then in the late 1800s. It was Leanna Brooks, who died at the age of 10 in 1874. Right before she passed, the painting was made, and just incredible aura surrounding it. There was no wonder the staff says for sure her spirit haunts that building, has been seen on the grounds again as well. The eyes follow you. I even thought I saw small orbs flying out of the painting as I was reading its aura. It just very vivid, incredible painting in fantastic shape, captures her spirit like any expert painter would. Not too far from the edge of Appalachia, this region held significance during wars for being rich in natural resources, as well as routes to mobilize troops and supplies. Before the nearby mineral deposit dried up, a village thrived at the site for around 600 years. Okay, so we got here, got access to the park. A storm is passing through. Morale is low. We are barely hanging on as a paranormal investigative team.
I'm ready to quit.
The newbies are ready to quit.
I'm ready to quit.
I'm doing all right.
Our gear might be destroyed. When times get desperate, we turn to this plant ally from Oceania that can induce trance-like states to increase our ghost hunting abilities. We are about to have a kava ceremony, and I feel like it enhances our ghost hunting perceptions, so boola everybody. So you've never had a paranormal experience?
No.
So you call yourself a skeptic, right?
I guess so.
At this point.
Yeah, I'm skeptical.
We're gonna
I'm
check
open
in
to it,
on.
though.
We're gonna check in on that at the end.
Okay.
In the 1920s, Blue Licks Battlefield became a state park here in Kentucky, and soon after it became what they call a state resort park. Just a kind of upscale glamping section of the state park system. Fancy cafeteria buffet inside. and we brought our own food. You know, we're on a budget, the Haunted Network, so please like and subscribe if you get the chance, so we can maybe meet at the state park resort one day. But yeah, no, this is the upscale park in the Kentucky State Park system. So yeah, we're really excited to go check out the battlefield now. Come on, Network.
Daniel Boone and the gang came out here to acquire salt. For generations, thousands of years, there would have been a salt lick that they said now is dried up. But that's a mineral deposit, a huge mineral deposit of salt, natural salt, that animals for generate decades and forever would be on their trails, on their migrations. They would stop here and they would lick the ground, or they would lick the stone per se that looked like salt, or they had the mineral deposits of salt in it. That's why you get the term salt lick. The people of the area, the native people of the area, would notice that these animals are coming once a year, stopping here for a couple days to get their quota of salt. The native peoples would see this is where they're at, that's where they would get their salt. Then Daniel Boone and the gang, they came here and they started to harvest it more. But that's really why this area became prominent. And from my understanding, this area was kind of a neutral zone that native tribes did fight over it to find out, well, who's hunting, who can hunt this ground, and who can use the salt lick. And then of course they did share it with certain tribes.
Alright, we got some pretty major flooding on the Buffalo Trail, but this is Daniel Boone's heroic escape route. It wasn't his first. The indigenous people had terrorized his family. His own son died on the battleground not far from here. And this was his escape route. I'm getting chills. Maybe because of the cold rain, but I've gotten chills in the museum, seeing the haunted painting, and this place is just oozing very old history. This isn't like the last battlefield that we investigated, which was a Civil War battlefield. This one is much older, even being part of the Revolutionary War according to most historians. But it happened after the war was basically already settled. So we're gonna see what we encounter up here and try not to twist any ankles.
This wouldn't be Daniel Boone's last escape route, as later in his years he would escape economic struggle heading to St. Charles, Missouri. But that's for another day. The Charlie and Carter factory.
This is a scene out of that. This is a first for the Haunted Network. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's his head.
It's like a hinge? This is like a hinge?
That triangle was his face. That triangle.
Is it? Does he want to go on the bridge?
There you go, man. Stay safe.
Later we found out that it happened to be turtle mating season here, explaining this fun pedestrian crossing. It's actually likely that this turtle would spend its entire life within the park, just like the ghosts we would soon meet. We're gonna have just a little bit of like sounds pollution going on with the water,
But the water itself could maybe give us a message. Like we said earlier, it's a conductor.
Exactly. I got a microphone right here on the spirit box. Although I might not be able to hear it, it could manipulate the audio equipment. We believe your spirit might be lingering around. Can you please tell me your name? As we turn to our circuit bent radio sweep scanner, also known as a spirit box, to begin gathering data, it doesn't take long for the spirit world to manifest. Listen closely as the spirit of Colonel Benjamin Logan appears to communicate with a member of the Haunted Network. Logan was high up in the militia that arrived late and found his fellow Kentuckians slain at the gruesome battleground. He was devastated by the death toll and not arriving on time to fight off the ambush. Deep felt regret such as this can definitely be sufficient enough to cause a haunting, and Benjamin Logan's spirit won't be the first case of this we experience at the historic site. Although it is the first ever case of his spirit being identified here or anywhere else as far as we are aware. Some historians have called Logan the most underrated man in frontier history.
I heard someone say the name Ben or Benjamin. Is there a Ben or Benjamin with us right now? Ben or Benjamin? Ben, are you here?
Getting a little water on it.
Are you there? It's raining cats and dogs out here. A downpour. A good sign of life. Are you there?
Alright, looks like the river is in view. Unless that's just major flooding. Nah, that's gotta be the river. Found a cryptid.
Thing's gnarly. Austin, try to get it to bite you.
Dude. I don't got that antidote.
Look at this, like...
It's unfazed.
He's just on the move.
What is that? It's like some
That-
adaptation.
That's probably nothing like the bugs we're gonna find at our headquarters tonight. After a storm like this, it's probably gonna bring out all sorts of critters.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's already doing it.
That's a pretty big river. I was expecting it to be a lot smaller, but it's also very flooded. The Licking River. Took the scenic route, beautiful waterfalls. This might be the Haunted Network's first waterfall.
I think so.
First waterfall caught on tape. Just off this busy road here.
It's a double waterfall.
You'll love to see it. We are here on the beach of the Licking River, the beautiful beachside. I don't know if animals made this, but yeah, the water level is increasing. There were floods expected today, but hey, we've been planning this investigation for over a year.
Oh yeah. Dates have changed. We're just like the postman, rain or shine.
Our rolling audio at the beachside.
Are there any spirits with us today? And what is your name?
Could this be the spirit of Reverend Forrest Chilton trying to communicate? Chilton, an Army veteran and member of the Sons of the American Revolution who passed away in 2018, dedicated his later years to the marking of over 300 Revolutionary War patriot graves. He also helped organize luncheons and memorial services at Blue Licks Battlefield. A strong candidate to become involved in the spirit realm here, especially being a reverend.
Did you live in this area? Did you live in this area? Did any of you come here with Daniel Boone, the 27 people who originally came here with him? Did you get salt from the lick? Wabash?
At first we were confused to hear that a spirit mentioned the river Wabash, which flows many miles away, but after researching the battle more, it became clear why. This was where the Shawnee warriors involved in the Battle of Blue Licks called home around that time. In fact, Benjamin Logan, alongside Hugh McGarry, sought retribution there as part of the American Indian Wars 4 years after the defeat at Blue Licks. One of the reasons I really wanted to come here is because I think one of my ancestors fought in a battle here. Was there a soldier named Vanderlip? No. Hi. Yeah, I was hoping to see if Frederick Vanderlip fought in this battle. I was wondering how many Tories fought in this battle. The Scotchman? Okay.
Oh, the Scotchman.
They said bear with us, but they gotta get the Scotchman.
You know who that is? That's the guy who who told them to go fight.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to talk with the Scotchman, yeah. We were able to confirm that Hugh McGarry was indeed Scotch-Irish, and the one who took on most of the blame for falling for the Shawnees' trap, which led to many of his men being killed in this battle. I know that this battle was all your fault. I'm sure you feel some remorse that might keep your spirit around. I would just like to communicate with you, though, and maybe give you some company as you deal with this process. Do you regret your decision in the battle? I know you promised to guard the souls of your soldiers. How many British did you fight against? Was it mainly Shawnee? Listen closely as we hear him confirm some historians' accounts that only 50 British soldiers were involved in the battle. Some historians have provided different numbers in the past, so let this serve as validation for the number of 50 that most historians have seemed to have agreed on. Furthermore, this low number means that there is only about a 50% chance that my ancestor fought in this battle. Alright, so we just set up our overnight base here at Blue Licks Battlefield. Got the fire, we got a member who's gonna tend the fire, and then over this way we have access to one of the trails that leads straight to where we heard it was the young female's voice, and also some probably deceased portions of the American forces who fought on that day. And we were speculating during our coffee break a few minutes ago that there's probably other spirits here who have nothing to do with the battle. What are your thoughts on bringing in some new members to the Haunted Network? Is this an unprecedented investigation for the team?
I think there's always room at the table here at the Haunted Network, you know? You and I, we've been down the road a couple times. This isn't our first rodeo. We have two skeptics with us tonight, and we're here at the Midnight Society, as they say. You know, we've lit the fire. They're gonna be believers by the end of it.
Not a bad little makeshift home base.
We're gonna find a whole lot of spirits, and we're gonna bring you, viewers of the Haunted Network, a real treat this evening.
Wow. Yeah, we were tested, you know, I got some new members today. It was a big test. Our dedication. See what I did there?
Very good.
Our dedication to uncovering the paranormal world is reaching new heights. I think this is a pivotal investigation for our group. We've not really had an overnight base like this, having one of the most powerful earth elements involved to keep our investigation going, keep morale high. And yeah, who knows what we'll see. My hopes are very high. The Spirit Box sessions were a lot of fun. I think we're contacting a lot of American spirits, which makes sense because most of the casualties were on the American side, of course, at this battle. So it would be cool to contact some of the British, of course, having an ancestor who fought on the British side. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I have really high hopes, and I'm thankful to have new members to build up the Haunted Network. We're a few years in now of our existence, and yeah, we just keep it on the up and up, and it's great working with Austin again too. And
Great to be back.
Yeah, big night ahead. Big night ahead. So we just turned our lights off, and what did you think you saw?
I saw some quick flashes, like a snap of flash, over in this direction here, about chest height, and then I felt like I saw a shadowy creature come up the path this way, kind of crouched. But it was a glimpse of it, and I did feel it in the chest, almost like some kind of weird gut feeling. But then it was gone.
And we both thought that we saw like weird. It was like not. It could have been some like. It looks like bioluminescence.
Like flashes of light.
Yeah, but it seemed very like it was the spirit world. Like, yeah, like in a few different spots, and they were kind of. It was a weird vibrance, like almost like a layer of that spirit realm, how it likes to manifest itself. So we got our lights back on now, and we're just gonna proceed and see if there's any like kind of traffic lights, because there is like one of the town roads is way off about a mile or so that way. So we want to just check this out and get to the bottom of what we thought we saw. It could be traffic lights, but are we ready?
What I saw was over here. There's no traffic over this way. As we went through there earlier in the day,
True.
there's like that big stream that goes to the river. There's no traffic there. There would be no.
True. Well, we should just go make sure that it's nobody out here in the woods, like animal eyes or anything like that. I don't think it was. It seemed very ethereal, am I right?
Yeah, and like I said, I saw some kind of hunkered down shadow creature coming up the path there.
That reminds me of Waverly Hills, the investigation we did. And the thing is, they're harmless. We really have nothing to worry about. I say if you want to lead the way. It's still slippery, but we did our daylight walkthrough, so we were a little bit acquainted with this battlefield site that had a battle lasting only 15 minutes because the Americans were grossly outnumbered. If they would have listened to Kentucky's hero Daniel Boone, they would have not fallen into this trap. And I think that's what might be making the Scotchman's spirit linger, because he wanted to be all brave.
There's two famous quotes that come from this specific battle. There's one, because of course the battle was such a massacre because it happened and they were ambushed. The Kentuckians were ambushed, and they weren't, they didn't know. Some of them knew, like Daniel Boone knew that they were going into a trap, but the Scottishman, he did not believe so. There's two quotes that come from this. One is the Scottishman, and it goes something along the lines, if you are not cowards, come with me. Or those who are not cowards, come with me.
Wait, you just said that and it might have been a raindrop. It is still slightly...
I feel like words like that are
raindrops
powerful out here, because those are said to be the words of the Scottishman who led the charge into many men being slaughtered that day. But once Daniel Boone noticed it was an ambush, he had an even greater quote that we now know is why this place is haunted. His quote was, "We're all slaughtered men," and that's just such a very, it rings true.
Still a very cloudy day and night here, but beautiful nonetheless, surrounded by so much beauty. You can really see why Kentucky made this site their coveted state resort glamping center with full buffet. And I hand it to them, the museum is still only $5 and it's haunted. And that's hard to find, because a lot of haunted locations, they charge premium, banking on the power of the haunted folklore to keep them open. Alright, looks like we got a fallen tree up here. So heads up, guys. And just the sound ecology out here is really beautiful. The bird song has been constant since we arrived, and it just puts us in such a peaceful... Oh, yeah, I think we see a frog in the tall grass. Oh yeah, it's glowing. It looks like an animal. I think we see an animal in there, and this is right off the stream, the bridge. There's definitely something there, but we want to be 100% sure that it's an animal before we completely write it off. What animal do you think it would be?
I think it's a tiny, reptile, like a frog.
He's going in. Alright, Austin's going in to get to the bottom of this. That's pure dedication. We have an investigator in the field, closing in on the objects that might have been tiny animals. It's to your left.
There's a vibe.
I got the road over there.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. Too cloudy though to see the stars, but I'm sure if it's not a cloudy day, the stars out here would just be an absolute treat. We're in the middle of this field right next to the springs, not far from the boat launch where we were there on the beach side.
The stars are kind of purplish.
Yeah, it could have been that. Could have been anything.
Yeah, I'm with your theory though about the water droplets. I don't think it was paranormal. What did you hear?
I heard a woman's voice over that way.
And that's exactly where we heard the woman's voice on the spirit box. Is exactly where you just pointed. Yep.
Well, you were.
You were up on the road. We were down at the beach. Recorded a woman's voice. Oh, did you hear footsteps? Okay, I'm gonna get this all fired up first. Oh. Oh, yo, I heard a woman's voice too.
Yeah, I just saw like a firefly.
What is it about this field?
Whoa! It sounded like someone just patted me on the back.
Are you in this field right now?
You can show yourself. Could have been the Scotchman. Yes, it's me. At that point, it was amazing to record a spirit voice say, Israel was left to rot, since Daniel Boone reportedly identified his son Israel's body while another member of the burial party recounted they couldn't tell one man from another of the dead. The weather being so warm, they had swollen so much. This is definitely a horrifying moment that could very well cause a haunting.
Spirits, if you, I'm sure as we can't see you, but I know you can see us. You'll see this wire here. There you are, some good tobacco. And if you can make this light go off, I have another one for you. We're going to step back and turn off our lights, or I will turn off this light. And if you could, if you don't mind, please stroke it, 3 fingers going up, and make the light go off. This is a wire. It's a bit of metal. It won't hurt you. Thank you. If you could please stroke the wire upwards. We would really appreciate it.
And if there's any other way you can make that light go off, that's what we want. We want the light to go off.
And in my left hand...
This fell out of my... I had this thing right here. I keep it in my pants here.
Yeah.
And it is off.
Whoa. So are you telling me that placard just like moved out of your... They're like, this is easier.
It fell, yeah.
It fell out of your pocket. That's your placard for the pendulum.
Yeah.
I know that, I'm sure that's much easier than this contraption we've put in the field. This is more old school. Was the spirit using energy from the field recorder to move our member's pendulum placard? This was one of the most compelling audio anomalies we recorded here, and later in the night we would once again have our audio equipment manipulated to produce a similar unexplained noise.
If you could please stroke the wire upwards. We would really appreciate it. As you Haunted Network heads know that I'm honestly pretty anti-technology, especially when it comes to the older spirits. Imagine you being from 17-something or prior and being asked to touch lights and things that you just would never have known what they even were. Here we have a pendulum. Gonna get it grounded. Still. This way for yes. Back to the center. Grounded. This way for no. Grounded.
The Scotchman was so vocal in the spirit box.
Are you the Scotchman? Look at that.
Powerful spirit.
That's the most we've got. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. Thank you. Now knowing what happened, feel any remorse for what happened that day. Thank you. For what it's worth, we forgive you. We understand that in your time, things were different. The country was expanding. You all had your reasons to do what you did. Things have changed. Times have changed. People have changed. For better and for worse. It's all different to different people. And we forgive you for what you did. And we thank you for speaking with us. Because it means a lot. Is it okay if we continue to explore this area? It's okay that we go look more? Yes.
Thank you. We love it here. It's so beautiful.
This is a very beautiful piece of land. We understand why you would fight for it. There are many resources in this land, and we thank you for your time and for your service and for communing with us and speaking with us. We wish you a good night, and we wish you peace. If we are allowed to step away and you're happy to speak with us, please say yes. Thank you. I hate to ask for one more thing, but if it's time for us to leave, can you put that candle out? Can you burn that candle out? Put the candle out if we are able to leave.
Saying yes and no. Right?
Maybe.
Austin is asking the spirit realm to put out the flame that has been lit. There's the audio anomaly again, triggered by our member trying to have the candle flame extinguished. Luckily, Austin had picked up on something seeming off in the field. Like, we ended up witnessing some kind of spooky activity, and the Scotchman, once again, seeming like he was the one with the stronger energy, being able to influence our equipment, our tools the most. And yeah, then the rain started picking up again, so we're back at our overnight base here right at the entrance of that trail. We just had as our warm-up for the night, and yeah, hopefully the storm just passes through and we can move on to the next trail we have planned.
They have this free literature in the gift shop, and I found out that Major Levi Todd was at this battle, and he was a relative of mine. So not only do I have a relative here, Stevie might also have a relative who fought on the adjacent side of the British. So I have a man on the Kentuckian American side, and he has the enemies.
Hey, we're curing our past life traumas.
That's why we're here.
Wow, that is a really crazy coincidence that two members of the Haunted Network have very distant relatives in this battle, and we're all just finding this out. It was two groups of rowdy frontiersmen, and that's the thing is you have this Scotchman, he's being all macho, leading his army into a disaster. That's the thing is these were rugged frontiersman type people on both sides and blood-hungry natives. The spirits remain.
This is the you. Here we are again at the proverbial campfire, something that humankind has gathered around since the dawn of man, or at least the dawn of fire. When Old Man Coyote went to the sun and stole the fire, bringing the flame to earth. We as humans can't help but tell stories, spin yarns, talk of the days of old. It's something about the dancing flames that keeps us intrigued and enticed. The spirit of man, human, is fueled by fire. You don't have to be new age or old age or any age. You just gotta be in tune with time. The time is a construct.
Yeah, it's like outside
Just
of
in
time
tune.
and
So you
space.
just gotta be in tune a little bit, whatever that means, of course. And in tuned is something we made up.
Yes. What time is it? Do you have your watch?
Yep. Well, it's 1:04 where I live, 2:04 here. The witching hour, some might say, but if you look at traditional folklore, the witching hour to some people is midnight, but traditionally it's actually 3 o'clock, but I've read somewhere where it's 2 o'clock. You said 3 o'clock. I
Interesting.
actually like to say it's 3 o'clock too, but it's definitely not midnight, when most people think it's the witching hour.
Interesting.
Not midnight. Sorry, folks. Where'd you hear that it was 3 o'clock?
It's the witching hour.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Hear that at?
It's just it's the fact.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is too.
I feel like I heard some shouting. Oh, yeah, someone's shouting, "Stop it."
That
They're shouting, "Go." Someone is in distress.
It's over this way. It's kind of like all-encompassing. Like it's kind of started there and then kind of like traveled. Keep quiet. Let's keep quiet. Shh.
You're going in?
You want to get closer so you can hear it.
There's a woman's voice coming from the woods. She's yelling, "Let go, stop it." Yeah, when I first got into ghost hunting, like you look at episode 1 in Rehoboth, Massachusetts, it was another very rural place, just like the backwoods of Kentucky, where we are now. And using my field recorder, I pick up a lot of animals just like I thought I almost mistaken for someone in distress. Turns out it was just possibly an animal call.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, we kept hearing a noise out in these woods. That was he heard help. I heard and I would count, and it was about in between each one. It was about 10 seconds, 13 seconds, give or take. Some were a little more frequent. And it went on for quite some time. I think the camera that we were filming with rolled for about 4 minutes or so, and that whole thing kept going. But this is how legend and lore is created, by the human mind not truly understanding the natural. And, you know, hearing these wailings and things.
We've been here in the trenches that for 15 minutes only saw a slaughter of many souls that tonight have lingered before our very eyes. And we have devised our next route we will take to see, will there be more than just animal calls for us to pick up on our mics and whatnot. We'll see. How did we end up here? We just ended up at this random bridge. I think this bridge goes over the Licking River. Doesn't it?
Does it?
Does it?
Something like that? I don't think so.
No. What's this river?
Somehow.
Is this the river?
It goes over the road. We drove under it.
Okay, so we ended up getting lost.
How did
And we ended up at this awesome bridge.
How did we end up from here?
Wait, what was it? What was this? We don't even know where we are right now.
We seem to find ourselves in a predicament in which we try to follow a map. Sometimes harder than you think, especially if you don't know where you're at when you begin. But here we are, what I believe is called the Heritage Trail. It said taking you back in time to where the mastodons roam. Not only the mastodons, but the native people themselves, the bison, and the pioneers. So we have a little bit of literature here. Across here. This is a valley. It's a low area, probably the lowest area of this specific area. That means something to some, I guess, to culture and to nature. Mastodons were probably the first to find the shallow area of the bend of the Licking River. Over the thousands of years, animals and man have used this as the primary crossing of the Licking River. As you can see, even after 200 or 300 years, this was considered to be the best location to cross the Licking River. A ford is a part of a river where it's higher, and it's almost kind of like somewhat of a primitive land bridge. It's where the river is not as deep, so it's easy to cross. That's a ford. At some point, there were outposts around certain regions of America, specifically this area, which are called stations, and there would be where people
Trading posts
and kind of lookouts and arsenals. It would just kind of be like a building, almost like a public house kind of situation, where it was just kind of like, this is where people are. They're looking out on the frontier. And I know that for a while, especially in this area, there were some spies that were sent out by the British to kind of see if they were natives in the area, because at this point the native peoples are getting pretty mad, because this was traditionally this was hunting grounds,
and they fought for both sides. What's the story behind that? Were they like soldiers for hire? What's the deal with that?
Throughout the Revolutionary War and even the Civil War, we have a people who, this is obviously their land, and they didn't know whose side to be on originally, so they just kind of chose sides of, like, I guess more or less who treated them better.
Yeah, and, they got dirty deals. So what do y'all think, the skeptics? How are we feeling? Real or not?
Real? What do you mean real? Like ghosts? Is that the question?
Ghosts.
Yeah, is that the question?
Ghosts.
Not yet.
No solid evidence for y'all yet?
No.
That's the thing, is a lot of times they'll manipulate my equipment and you'll pick it up later.
Yeah.
Saying yes and no. Right?
Maybe.
Austin is asking the spirit realm to put out the flame. Death marks a mysterious transition, and many spirits still yearn for this world. The Haunted Network brings you along on our journey where restless energies are imprinted. Subtle reminders that we are all connected by histories that seem to repeat.